Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and thank you for choosing a quiet moment to be here. Today's story is about two girls who come from different worlds. A life of comfort and a life of struggle. Two paths that should never have crossed, yet they're each other simply because they could not understand one another. This is not a story about good or bad. It's a story about how easy it is to judge what we don't know, and how deeply misunderstanding can shape a person's life. So take a breath and let's begin season 1 of How She Learned to Understand. Sash lived a perfect life, at least that's what everyone saw. The teachers adored her, her classmates followed her, her family name opened every door. She was beautiful, confident, and always smiling, the kind of girl everyone wanted to be around. To the world, Sash was kindness in human form. But when no one was watching, a different side of her appeared, sharp, cold, and cruel. Especially toward one girl, Sophia. Sophia was the quiet one. The kind of student most people overlooked. She came to school early and left late, always with tired eyes and books hugged tightly to her chest. At 15, her life already carried the weight of adulthood. Her parents were gone. She lived with her 78-year-old aunt who could no longer work. So after school, Sophia worked at a small cafe until evening, studying late into the night before doing it all again the next day. She didn't complain, didn't ask for help. She simply endured, and maybe that's what made Sash hate her. Sophia tried too hard. She smiled even when she was clearly exhausted. To Sash, that smile felt fake, a way of pretending to be strong. But deep down, what Sash really couldn't stand was that Sophia kept trying when life had already decided she should lose. At school, Sash's group would whisper when Sophia passed. Sometimes they'd laugh, sometimes they'd trip her in the hallway. Sophia never said a word. She just picked herself up and kept walking. Sash's friends adored her, unaware that their queen was the one who started every rumor. The teachers believed Sash could do no wrong. To them, she was a model student, polite, caring, perfect. To everyone else, Sash lived a dream life. And Sophia? She was just the poor girl who didn't belong. What neither of them knew was that they were both wrong about each other. Sash thought Sophia was pretending to be strong, but Sophia was surviving. Sophia thought Sash was a heartless monster, but Sash was simply blind. They didn't understand one another, and because of that, they kept hurting each other. When Sash saw Sophia, she saw everything she didn't want to be: weak, struggling, invisible. And when Sophia saw Sash, she saw everything she hated: power without empathy, beauty without heart. Their worlds never met. Even when they crossed paths, they looked right past one another, two people breathing the same air, yet living in different realities. One lived a soft life that never asked for courage. The other lived a hard life that never gave her rest. But both were trapped, Sash inside her perfect image, and Sophia inside her endless fight to survive. Neither saw the other as human. And maybe that's the real tragedy: how easy it is to hate someone when you've never tried to understand them. Sash's life had always moved in perfect rhythm. Every morning, she woke to the soft sound of her mother humming in the kitchen. Her father read the news, her phone lighting up with good morning messages. Friends adored her, and her uniform was always pressed and her grades spotless. Her smile was effortless, and perfection was a habit. Sash had mastered it. But perfection is fragile. It breaks the moment something real touches it. It began with a rumor. Ironically started by Sash herself, a small, cruel joke about Sophia that she never meant to grow. By lunch, it had spread through the entire school. By the next morning, even a teacher had heard the rumor. Sophia didn't cry this time, she just looked down when people whispered. Her silence hurt more than tears ever could. During class, Mrs. Albright called Sash aside with a calm but sharp voice. "Sash, did you say something about Sophia yesterday?" she asked. Sash froze. No one had ever questioned her before. No one dared to challenge her, and she lied easily. She always could. But for the first time, it didn't feel smooth. It felt like swallowing glass. Rumors twist fast, and by the end of the week, the story had changed. Now people were whispering that Sash had been jealous and gone too far. Sash's friends started keeping their distance, just a little, nothing obvious. But she noticed, and at home, her father noticed too. "Everything fine at school?" he asked, and she lied again. That night, she lay awake, staring at her reflection in the dark mirror. She wondered when lying had become her second language. Sophia heard everything, every rumor, every whisper, and for once she decided to speak. Not to fight, not to shout, but to correct the truth. She told her teacher quietly, honestly, what had happened. She didn't mention Sash's name. She just said it wasn't true. And that quiet sentence changed everything. The school called a meeting. Small, private, Sash's parents, Sophia's aunt, and 2 teachers. Sash had never seen her mother look disappointed before. Not angry, just tired. That look cut deeper than any punishment. Sash apologized because she had to, not because she meant it. Sophia accepted because she had to, not because she forgave. Afterward, both girls walked out of the office in silence. 2 lives brushing past each other without a single glance. Weeks passed. The rumor died, but the silence stayed. People still liked Sash, but now there was something different in their eyes, a quiet uncertainty. Sash hated it. She hated that her world felt slightly crooked. She hated that she kept noticing Sophia more, not because she cared, but because she couldn't stop thinking about her. Sophia's aunt fell sick that winter. Sophia started missing classes to work longer shifts at the cafe. Rumors started again, that she was skipping school, losing focus, and once again, Sash listened. This time she didn't spread them, but she didn't stop them either. Her silence became its own kind of cruelty. At her Sweet 16 party, Sash was surrounded by lights, laughter, and friends taking endless pictures. Yet halfway through, she felt hollow. All night she smiled, but her chest felt heavy, like someone had carved a space inside her and left it empty. She thought of Sophia then, walking home in the cold, and hated herself for thinking of her at all. In the mirror, Sash saw the same perfect girl everyone loved, but when she blinked, she caught another reflection, a flicker of something small and scared beneath the surface. "You don't even know who you are anymore," the voice inside her whispered. She didn't answer. She just kept brushing her hair, building the mask again. Midterms came. Sophia scored high despite everything. Sash didn't. For the first time, her grades slipped. Her teacher left a note on her paper. "Perfection isn't strength. Sash, understanding is." She didn't understand what that meant, not yet. One afternoon, Sash saw Sophia at the bus stop, standing under the rain with no umbrella. Their eyes met for a second. No words, just that silent space between them, full of everything they'd done to each other. Sash looked away first. At school, things kept slipping. Her friends grew distant, her teachers less trusting, her parents quieter. For the first time in her life, Sash felt alone. And loneliness, she realized, feels a lot like falling without anyone noticing. In a rare act of honesty, Sash asked herself, "Why do I hate her?" No answer came, just memories of laughter, whispers, and the sight of Sophia's tired eyes that never once asked for pity. It was easier to hate than to understand. Sophia didn't think about Sash anymore. She had work, exams, and her aunt to care for. But sometimes, late at night, she wondered why Sash hated her so much. Maybe Sash had everything because she'd never been hungry for anything real. Sophia pitied her, just a little. Spring arrived, a new semester. Both girls sat in the same classroom, farther apart than ever. But this time, when Sash glanced at Sophia, she didn't see an enemy. She saw a question she couldn't answer yet. And that was the beginning. Not of friendship, not of forgiveness, but of something new, the possibility of understanding. Perfection used to protect Sash. Now it felt like a cage. She didn't break all at once. She cracked slowly, silently, in places no one else saw. Because change doesn't start with understanding someone else. It starts with understanding yourself. Sash was asked to write an essay titled, "A Time I Made a Mistake." She stared at the blank page for 10 minutes, then 20, then an hour. Sash could lie, she always could, but every word felt wrong. The teacher gently asked her, "Why is this hard for you?" Sash didn't know how to answer, because admitting a mistake meant admitting she wasn't perfect, and she didn't know who she was without perfection. Sophia got a part-time job at the library. For the first time, she was surrounded by quiet people who didn't judge her voice, her clothes, or her silence. They smiled at her, not pity, just kindness. She started helping younger students with homework, and she discovered she was patient, gentle, and actually good at teaching. Sophia began to glow, softly like morning light. People noticed. Sash noticed most. One afternoon, Sash snapped at a teacher. The pressure, the lies, the eyes watching her every move. It was becoming too much. The teacher sent her to detention. Sash had never been punished before. And when she walked in, Sophia was already sitting there, quietly doing her homework. They didn't talk. They didn't look at each other. But the silence was louder than words. Both were there for different reasons, but both were hurting. Sophia thought, even queens fall. Sash thought, even the quiet ones break. Neither knew the other was right. When Sophia caught Sash staring at her, she whispered, "Why do you hate me so much?" It wasn't anger, it was genuine confusion. Sash opened her mouth and nothing came out. She didn't know the answer, and that scared her more than anything else. One night, during dinner, her father asked, "How's school?" And for the first time in her life, Sash couldn't lie. Tears came before words. Soft at first, then unstoppable. It wasn't about the rumors, or the lost friends, or the detention. It was the weight of pretending to be perfect every single day. Her mother hugged her. Her father stayed quiet, worried. Sash whispered, "I don't know who I am anymore." And that was the truest thing she'd ever said. At school, Sophia's life got harder. Her aunt's condition worsened. Money was tight, homework piled up, but somehow she held on. People always underestimated quiet girls. They didn't see that silence could also mean strength. Sophia learned to speak up for herself, not loudly, but clearly. And every time she did, Sash felt something inside her shift, a mix of envy, guilt, and something that felt like respect. One afternoon, Sash overheard two girls mocking Sophia for her clothes. Old Sash would have laughed, or joined, or stayed silent. This Sash did something else. She froze. For the first time in her life, Sash saw cruelty from the outside and realized she had once been exactly like that. It felt like being slapped. She didn't defend Sophia, not yet. But she didn't walk away either. She just stood there, heart pounding, realizing she didn't want to be that person anymore. The semester began differently. Sash still looked perfect on the outside. Perfect hair, perfect uniform, perfect smile. But something in her wasn't perfect anymore. Ever since the rumor incident, she felt off. Like she was walking in shoes that didn't fit. And every time she saw Sophia, she felt that strange ache in her chest. She didn't know what it meant. She didn't want to know. So she ignored it. One morning in class, Sash arrived early. Sophia was already there, head down, buffet, studying quietly. For a moment, a tiny one, Sash saw something she had never bothered to notice: Sophia's hair tied up messily, a faint bruise on her arm from carrying heavy trays, dark circles under her eyes but still focused. Sash felt something shift inside her. Not sympathy, not guilt, just confusion. Why was she noticing these things? She looked away quickly, angry with herself. Over the next weeks, Sash kept noticing things she didn't want to see. Sophia staying late after class to ask questions. Sophia helping younger students with homework. Sophia studying on her lunch break. Sophia walking home alone in the cold. It bothered Sash. It bothered her because she didn't understand why she cared. And the more she noticed, the more the cracks inside her grew. One afternoon, Sophia answered a difficult question in class. Their teacher smiled at her. "Beautiful work, Sophia." "Keep it up." The class looked impressed. But Sash's stomach twisted sharply. She felt jealous, not of the praise, but of the attention. Why was Sophia suddenly so visible? Why did Sash feel invisible next to her? She told herself, she's pretending. She wants people to feel sorry for her. The lie comforted her, just for a moment. Then came the day everything cracked open. The teacher paired students for a group project, and fate chose the worst combination. Sash and Sophia, the room froze. Sash's heartbeat jumped, Sophia's face turned pale. And Sash said loudly, "I don't want to work with her." It slipped out before she could stop it. The class stared. Sophia felt humiliated. She whispered, "I didn't ask for this either." But the teacher didn't budge. They had to work together. And Sash hated Sophia for that. They met after school to start the project. Sophia tried to be neutral. "We don't have to be friends. Let's just finish this." But Sash snapped back, "Why do you always talk like you're better than me?" Sophia blinked, confused. "I'm not. I just want to work." "Of course you do," Sash said coldly. "Miss Hardworking, Miss Perfect Poor Girl." Sophia's throat tightened. "You don't know anything about my life." "And I don't want to," Sash shouted, "because ever since you came here, nothing makes sense anymore." Sophia stared at her, hurt, confused, and exhausted. And for the first time, Sophia walked away first, leaving Sash alone, shaking, angry, and terrified of herself. That night, Sash couldn't sleep. She replayed the argument over and over. Her heart was loud, her mind was louder. She didn't understand why she felt anything at all, She didn't understand why Sophia's silence hurt. She didn't understand why she cared. And because she couldn't understand herself, she blamed Sophia. She's the reason I feel broken. She ruined everything. She makes me feel wrong. Blaming her was easier than facing herself. Meanwhile, Sophia's aunt grew sicker. Sophia worked more hours, slept less, studied whenever she could. She didn't even have the energy to think about Sash. But sometimes she wondered, why does she hate me so much? I never did anything to her. Sophia wasn't angry. She was tired of trying to understand a girl who clearly hated her. At school, Sash's behavior changed. She snapped at friends. She avoided mirrors. She stayed longer in the bathroom, breathing hard. Her friends noticed, her teacher noticed, her parents noticed, but Sash only had one explanation. It's because of Sophia. The lie grew stronger. One rainy day, Sash saw Sophia waiting for the bus, no umbrella, soaked, shivering, still trying to keep her school books dry. For one fragile second, Sash felt something close to guilt. But the moment scared her, so she turned it into anger. Why doesn't she take care of herself? Why does she make everyone feel sorry for her? Why does she make me feel anything? Sash walked away quickly, heart pounding. Sash started avoiding Sophia, then watching her, then avoiding her again. Her emotions were a storm she couldn't control. Every time she felt something soft inside her, she smashed it down with anger because softness meant understanding. Understanding meant change. And change terrified her, so she pushed Sophia farther away. Sophia fainted one afternoon at school. Overwork. No sleep. Stressed students rushed to help her. Teachers panicked, and Sash stood frozen. Something inside her cracked painfully. She didn't understand why she cared. She didn't want to care, so she whispered to herself, why does she make everything so dramatic? Why does she affect me? Why can't she just disappear? But those words tasted bitter. For the first time, Sash realized she was lying to herself. Sophia recovered quietly. She didn't thank anyone. She didn't ask for attention. She went back to class, tired but calm, and Sash watched from far away, not with kindness, not with hate, but with a wild storm of emotions she refused to name. She turned her face away, pushed her feelings down, and when someone asked if she was okay, she said, "It's all because of Sophia." The misunderstanding didn't just remain, it grew. Bigger, heavier, sharper. The darkest, rawest season so far, where everything Sash ran from finally catches her, and everything Sophia held together finally falls apart. The school year kept moving, but Sash felt like she was standing on cracking ice. Her grades slipped, her stomach hurt every morning. She was angry at everyone, but didn't know why. Sophia had become her shadow, even when she wasn't in the room. Every problem Sash had, every anxiety, every insecurity, she whispered the same thing. This is because of Sophia. It was never true, but it made Sash feel less guilty about her own chaos. Until the cracks grew too big to hide. Sophia was holding on by threads, taking care of her aunt, working late shifts, trying to stay awake in class. She didn't tell anyone how bad things were. She didn't want pity. But her silence came with a cost. She stopped smiling, stopped talking unless asked a question, stopped doing anything except surviving. And every time she heard Sash's name, her chest tightened painfully. Not because she hated her, because she didn't understand why someone she barely knew hurt her so deeply. It happened on a normal Wednesday. The teacher handed back tests. Sophia passed, barely. Sash failed for the first time in her life. Something inside Sash snapped loud enough to echo. She slammed her notebook shut. Her friend whispered, "Are you okay?" And Sash, trembling desperate, said, "It's because of her." Loud, clear. The whole class fell silent. Sophia froze. "What did I do?" she asked softly, and Sash hissed back, "You're ruining my life." The teacher shouted at both of them. Students whispered. Sophia's face broke, just a little, but enough. Sash realized she'd gone too far, but it was too late to take it back. Both girls sat outside the office, not speaking, not looking at each other. Sophia stared at her hands, trying not to cry. Sash stared at the floor, trying not to think. She wanted to apologize. She wanted to blame her again. She wanted to run. Instead, the only thing she said under her breath was, "Why do you make me feel like this?" Sophia heard it. She thought it meant hate, but it meant fear. At home, Sash's parents finally confronted her. Her mother held her face gently. "What's happening to you, sweetheart?" Sash wanted to scream, "I don't know," but instead she said, "I'm fine." She wasn't. She wasn't even close. That night, she cried quietly into her pillow. furious that she was crying at all. She whispered into the darkness, "Why can't I stop thinking about her?" At the hospital, Sophia's aunt took a turn for the worse. Sophia had to work extra hours. She had to take on more responsibility. She had to grow up too fast. One night, walking home alone, Sophia stopped under a streetlight and said, "I can't keep doing this." For the first time, she admitted she wasn't strong enough, and she broke. Quietly. Alone. She wanted someone to talk to. But the last person she would ever talk to was Sash. 2 days later, Sash was leaving school when she overheard two teachers whispering, "Sophia's aunt is very sick. That girl has too much on her shoulders." Sash stopped walking. The world felt suddenly too quiet. She whispered, "Sick?" She had never known, never cared enough to know. A heavy guilt pressed on her chest, but her fear twisted it into something uglier. Instead of accepting the truth, she said to herself, "She's probably lying to get attention." Because accepting reality meant admitting one thing: Sash was the one hurting her, and she wasn't ready to face that. During lunch, Sash's mask finally fell apart. Someone bumped her shoulder by accident, and Sash exploded, shaking, yelling, crying. Everyone stared. Sash, the perfect one. Sash, the confident one. Sash, the girl who never cracks, broke in front of the whole cafeteria. Sophia watched from across the room, hand over her mouth, heart pounding. She didn't feel revenge. She didn't feel victory. She felt worried, but she didn't go to her. She couldn't. Sash had pushed her too far away. At her job that night, Sophia collapsed in the storage room. Exhaustion, stress, no sleep. Her manager called an ambulance. Sophia whispered, "Please don't. I'm okay." But she wasn't. Her body couldn't keep pretending anymore. For the first time ever, both girls broke at the same time for different reasons in different places. Sophia lay in a hospital bed, wondering why life kept hurting her. Sash sat in her room, knees pulled to her chest, wondering why she kept hurting everyone else. Neither of them knew it, but they were connected by a thread of fear, misunderstanding, and unspoken truth. The day ended with one final line from each girl. "Sophia, what did I ever do to deserve this?" Sash, "Why can't I stop thinking about her?" Sophia's desk was empty. No note, no explanation. Just gone. The teacher cleared her throat and said, "Sophia has withdrawn from school for personal reasons." The class murmured. Someone gasped. Someone whispered, "Did something happen?" Someone else said, "I hope she's okay." But Sash sat perfectly still, expressionless, cold. Inside, her stomach twisted so violently she thought she would be sick. But she told herself, "Good. Why do I care? I don't care." She stared forward and refused to look at the empty desk again. Rumors spread fast. They tangled through the corridors like vines. Her aunt got worse. She couldn't afford school anymore. Something happened at home. She just disappeared. Sash heard every rumor, every single one, and every time she heard Sophia's name, something inside her tightened painfully. She didn't know what the feeling was. She didn't want to know. So she shut it down. She silenced it with anger, with excuses, with lies she repeated to herself. She was dramatic, always pretending. She left because she couldn't handle things, but each lie felt heavier than the last. And in the quiet moments when she couldn't push the world away, a single terrifying question crept into her chest. Did she leave because of me? Sash refused to think about it. One afternoon, her homeroom teacher called her in. A simple conversation, a soft voice, concern. "Sash, you and Sophia were partners for the project. Is there anything you want to tell me about how she was doing?" Sash's heart froze. Her mouth opened, her throat tightened. She wanted to say something, anything. But the only thing that came out was, "No, nothing." The teacher hesitated. Sometimes people disappear because they feel unseen. Sash flinched, hard. She almost walked out right there. She hated how her chest burned. She hated how the words felt like they were meant for her. So she hardened herself again. Everywhere she went, Sash felt Sophia in the hallways, in the cafeteria, in the library, in the seat behind her on the bus. Even though she was gone, even though she would never see her again, it was like Sophia had left fingerprints on her entire world, and Sash hated it. Hated the way the absence felt heavier than the presence ever did. One night, lying awake, staring at her ceiling, she whispered to herself, "She's not my problem. She never was. I didn't do anything wrong." Her voice cracked. It was the first crack in her perfect mask. A letter arrived at school, addressed to the teacher. From Sophia. No one saw what was inside. But the teacher paused after reading it. She looked up, eyes soft and sad. Then she said quietly, "Sash, there's something here for you." Sash's entire world stopped. The teacher held out a small folded note. Her hands shook, but Sash stepped back. "No," she said sharply. "Whatever it is, I don't want it." The teacher frowned. "Sash, she left this for you." I said no. Her voice was hard, sharp, frozen. The teacher placed the note gently on the edge of her desk. Sash stared at it, a tiny paper ghost, a goodbye she refused to accept. She grabbed it, then tore it in half and threw it in the trash. Her hands trembled long after the bell rang. It happened quietly, no witness, no audience, just Sash, alone in the hallway where Sophia used to walk. She stopped mid-step because she remembered the way. Sophia used to tuck her hair behind her ear. A tiny memory, a stupid detail, but it hit her so hard she forgot how to breathe. Her chest tightened, her vision blurred, her knees almost buckled, and for the first time she admitted the truth, only silently, only to herself. "I miss her." Then immediately, No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't miss someone I hated." But she was shaking, because her body knew the truth, her heart knew the truth, only her mind refused to accept it. Sash cried without making a sound. Sophia's file was removed from the school system. Her locker was emptied, her name erased from class lists, her chair pushed against the wall, and Sash watched it all happen, motionless, silent. Every part of her wanted to scream, "Stop! Don't remove her! She's coming back! Please, just wait." But no sound came out, because to speak would mean admitting the truth, that she cared, that she was hurt, that she didn't want Sophia to disappear, that it wasn't hate she felt all along, it was something she couldn't even name yet. So she stood there, watching Sophia's world be erased piece by piece, and whispered to herself, almost a prayer, "This isn't goodbye." A voice inside her answered, "It already is." Sash turned away, wiped her tears before anyone could see, and walked off with her mask back on, carrying a goodbye she would spend the next season trying not to regret. Sash and Sophia ended season 1 more distant than ever, not ready to understand, not ready to see the truth, not ready to change. Not yet, or maybe not ever. Sash and Sophia don't understand each other yet, and maybe that's why their story feels so real. Sometimes the people who hurt us the most are the ones who understand us the least. If this story touched something in you, tell me in the comments. Which girl do I relate to more, Sash or Sophia? Your thoughts might help someone else feel less alone. Until next time, like and subscribe for season 2. Take care of your heart and never stop trying to understand.